If you're an independent brokerage, this could be the opportunity that you have been looking for. EXP Realty has just announced their Boost program where they are offering a financial incentive for you to move your brokerage into the EXP Realty brand. However, you get to keep your own brand and a lot of other benefits that go with that. And when you hear everything that I discuss in this video with Michael Valdez, the Chief Growth Officer at EXP Realty, it will blow you away. But the main thing is that you just want to get the information right now. If you are interested in possibly making a move, maybe you've been facing some challenges with your brokerage. Now in this type of market where transactions on average are down at least 30%, depending on which market you're in, it is getting tougher out there. And EXP is the only brokerage right now that is continually growing, adding agents to the overall brand, and is now the #1 independent brokerage in the entire world for transactions. And usually one of the top reasons that brokerages don't want to make a move is because they're concerned about losing their branding and their identity. And EXP is allowing you to keep that, but they've also built in some other financial incentives to help with that transition. This is not buying brokerages. This is not a buyout. This is to help with that transition. And so if cost or money may be an issue as well that has been holding you back from possibly transitioning or making a move, I think you'll get some of those questions answered in this video. So stick around till the end so you get all the information. My name is Levi Lascsak and I'm an Icon agent with EXP along with my business partner, Travis Plumb. And we have been the dominating team when it comes to YouTube for real estate and developing the passive prospecting system that you've probably heard about. Now, if this is something that is of consideration to you and we do end up moving forward on this, the great thing is by partnering with us at EXP, you also get access to our passive prospecting program that has helped so many agents across the world build out passive prospecting YouTube channels, bringing them leads and business every single day without cold calling, door knocking, or spending any money on ads. But we will get to that later. The main thing of this video is to get your questions answered whenever it comes to making a move. Ultimately, you'll book a call. That way we can talk with you individually to understand your needs and everything that you're looking for to make a transition possible. And that way you have all of the facts. So if this is something that could be possible for you, then we make sure we get those questions answered. So let's get into it with Michael Valdez. And welcome, Michael. So good to see you today, my good friend, the Chief Growth Officer for EXP Realty. And how you doing, man? I feel like I haven't seen you in forever, although it's only been 2 days.
We've seen a lot more of each other, which is a good thing. I'm doing great. How are you, Levi?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Thank you so much. And I always explain to people that you're more than just a friend, but you're really my good conference buddy. And this is a story I tell over and over again all the time is that, you know, conferences are so important because you get access to corporate staff or personnel or influencers or speakers or people that you just may not be able to rub shoulders with all the time, but they're at conferences most of the time. You know, they're always there. And our relationship started at conference gyms because we were the only two ever working out at 5:30 in the morning.
So true. You know, and it talks about like discipline, right? And it was like, oh my God, I've met somebody as crazy as I am. This is friends, and we have been. And it started a few years ago, so it's wonderful.
Yeah. Well, at shareholders, I got, you know, John Sheplak charges $2,000 for 20 minutes of coaching. And he was at the gym and we talked for an hour. So the way I saw it, I got $6,000 worth of coaching for free. And, you know, he was happy to share. All I had to do was ask him a couple of questions and he was off to the races with, giving me all the juicy details.
That's awesome.
All right. So I know we got a short window here. I want to be respectful of your time and everyone else's time as well. So we are excited to talk about the new Boost program, specifically for brokerages at EXP Realty. So I'm just going to go down the list here. This is what, go ahead.
It's designed for independent brokerages.
Right. Very key.
But to attract them over to EXP. But I know you've got a checklist, but I want to make sure that we get it right from the start.
Okay, for independent brokerages.
Looking to join the EXP global platform.
There you go. All right, and that's exactly why I had you on, just because I want to make sure that I get the wording correct. All right, so let me just go down the checklist real quick. And so I'm going to ask you what each topic means and so that you can explain it. So if you're an independent brokerage watching this video right now, the best thing you can do is just book a call with us and we'll set something up so you can talk to our growth team as well, and we can answer more individual questions. But here's the overview. So let's start with the qualifications, which this says.
Hold on one second. Before we go into the qualifications, let me just tell you why we did it.
Okay, let's do that.
We actually started attracting a lot of independent brokerages already to our platform. We were trying to fit them into who EXP is because of what they were doing, right? And so what we realized was we were trying to fit them into a team model, and they just weren't. It was a different entity. And we realized that we needed a different product that was going to relate to a truly independent brokerage, a business that was looking to transform themselves onto our platform. And that's how we created Boost. And there's a whole checklist of qualifications, and we'll run through them. I know you wanted to do that.
Okay, let's start with the first one. So more than 50 agents and a minimum of $100 million in volume in the originating country over the previous 12 months fiscal period. So anything to go in depth on that?
Yeah. So first of all, you highlighted in any country. So we are mostly focused at doing this in North America. However, we are looking at doing a similar type of qualification in every country. So the qualifications you just read are the North America qualifications for the US and Canada. So 50 or more agents and $100 million or more in production for the following 12 months preceding them coming to us. And what that does, it actually identifies them as a true brokerage. It's not just a large team hiding behind being a brokerage. It's truly that. And the reason that we did this, and these are, it's not an or, it's an and. 50 agents or more and 100 million in production, because that's what truly signifies that. And when any brokerage moves, you're going to have attrition. So we need at least 50 agents, because if we're doing a financial incentive to someone, let's just say they lose half their agents, 25 agents doesn't really truly make a brokerage. And so then we have a large team. So that's why we put those requirements in place.
All right, great. And here it says, must be culturally aligned with and committed to adhering to the EXP Realty model.
So that's an important one too. So what we've seen in the past is that some brokerages have come over and they try to keep their agents away from what EXP is. And what that is, we're the most agent-centric company in the world. We want to be here. This is a company that was built by agents for agents. You have Glenn Sanford, who is the only CEO of a publicly traded real estate company that was ever actually an agent and sold real estate. So you actually have somebody who was an agent that created this for agents. We want to make sure that this is truly agent-centric, and everything that we're offering is being offered to everyone who is here. And so what we mean by culturally aligned, that means that whatever brokerage model was before, when they come to EXP, they're going to be adhering to, again, on the US side, an 80-20 split with a $16,000 cap. And that's what we're talking about with cultural alignment, and that they really understand that this is truly a company for agents. We love our agents, and we want to make sure that the agents get everything that they need at all times that they need it.
All right, very good. And cannot be affiliated with any non-independent franchise.
Very true, and it's also very important. So we are not here to hurt anyone's business. Anyone who is part of a franchise model of one of our competitors do not qualify. If they are with another franchise, then they are with another franchise. This is just for independent, non-franchised brokerages. The only caveat to that is if there is a franchise owner that is not going to renew their franchise agreement and is in their 6-month free look period, we can speak with them. Other than that, we need to be respectful of any franchise agreement out there.
Okay. Next one is must be invested in their continued growth with EXP Realty.
Absolutely. Well, that should be a no-brainer. everybody wants to grow, right? So it's this is not an exit strategy. A clear indication is we are not buying brokerages. That is not what this is. This is a financial incentive for culturally aligned agencies to move over into an EXP platform. So this financial incentive is to just ease the burden of all of the things that they will need to do as they transition over onto our platform.
All right, very good. And then must participate in the EXP Realty Revenue Share and Agents Equity Program.
That is right. So again, that is how they continue to grow. It's part of our model. So they need to be in rev share, and they need to make sure that their agents can participate in all of the stock participation that we have by the sales that they make, and make sure that basically everything that we have to offer the financial freedom for every single agent is part of what this discussion is as well.
Okay, and then must agree to incentive and retention terms and timelines.
So yeah. It's what we're doing. So how we actually get to the number, which you haven't asked me yet, which is pretty important. So the way that we get to the hypothetical number is that we look at that 12-month production, and we look at what their production would have been had they been at EXP, right? So prior 12 months, had you been at EXP, what your production would have been. Based on that is what we have as a hypothetical company dollar. So said another way, 80-20 split, the 20% that is the company dollar, 10% of that goes to rev share. So half the company dollar always goes to rev share. The other 10%, that's the gross company dollar that we're talking about. That would be the hypothetical company dollar. That would be the financial incentive for this brokerage. A percentage of that would be paid up front to help with their transitioning. And then at a 12-month window, we will see whatever attrition they had in the 12 months that they were at EXP. And hopefully it was none. But if they had any attrition, then we come to the final payment number. And then that's how we pay them right after that.
Okay. Are you able to give a number example?
No.
Okay. All right. Then also, and then what about the revenue share? Their agents come in and are qualified for the first 6 months, correct?
Actually, a really exciting part of this. So there's two things that came in into this that were enhancements to the program that really Glenn added, again, sitting on that agent or broker owner's shoes. So the first one was a 60-day non-poach agreement. We have never, ever done this. So the agency would come over, give our onboarding team a list of all their agents. Those agents would be onboarded into or uploaded into our onboarding platform. And then as they would be joining, their broker owner would be their sponsor. If anybody else tried to sponsor them, that opportunity would be flagged. They would be explained that they would not be able to join until the 60 days were up if they wanted to join with somebody else. That's to protect that broker owner in bringing their business over to EXP. Now, the other wonderful thing about this is that if you had agents that were your productive agents, they are going to be frontline qualifying agents the moment that they come over for a period of 6 months. So that broker owner will have all of their agent base that are qualifying agents fully FLQA for 6 months. So they are going to have the maximum rev share for that period of time. So they're going to be earning rev share rather immediately.
And from there, we're going to put the link in the description below as well. So the main thing is to get your questions answered. Just book a call. Again, we can have a much more individual conversation. And that way, because everybody's situation is unique, first and foremost. I mean, depending on production, number of agents, timeline, state, everything, we have to look at that. But we've got amazing team members, Sean and Amy, who head up the US. that we can get you on a call to discuss your own situation. And that's always the best thing to do. And this is what I love about fact finding, right? I mean, I believe it's always worth the conversation. You always want to understand what your options and availability is. It doesn't mean that you have to make the move, but if this is something that you're interested in, or you've been looking for other alternatives, especially with some of the challenges that do arise for independent brokerages, and you're thinking, okay, is there another alternative? This is a great opportunity to explore.
And look, so the first step is that cultural compatibility form, right? The next part of that is, if they qualify from there, is to do exactly what you said, to bring somebody from my senior growth team onto the call with the agent and with the sponsor and the prospect together, and have that conversation from there. I would absolutely say to bring the growth team on. I have started speaking to folks myself. By the time I get on the call, they do not have the facts of this program correct.
Yeah.
So this is we have the fact sheet that you're reading from right now. We have the idea of everything that's out there. It's very clearly stated, but yet there's a lot of paraphrasing already out there. So please bring in the growth team, have that conversation. They're the only ones that can advance it. Once it gets advanced, it comes to me. I have the final meeting with that broker, and then we come up with the final number. And I'm actually the one that writes the check. So it comes to me. And what's exciting is that we've got people already that are taking advantage of this program. We are going to be announcing them at EXPCon on the main stage, which is super exciting. But we have had people already be a part of this, and they're starting their transition as we speak.
That's amazing. That's great. So any last anything here at the end that you want to add on that we didn't cover?
I think, look, when we're looking at a period of time in the market where transactions are estimated to be at a 30% decrease, and you're an independent brokerage, you are already running on a very thin margin. And when you can look at not only the Boost program, but the idea that a lot of your operating expenses are now off of your balance sheet and onto ours, you retain your branding, you retain the heritage, the culture that you've built, you retain all of those things. You get a financial incentive to move over and make that transition a little less cumbersome for you. You now have a global platform by which to continue to build what you've started. You now have the ability to go global with that. You have the ability to reward your agents that were so close to you, to be able to then have them be financially free and incentivized by building their own organizations within our platform. There are a lot of benefits to this conversation. So I welcome everyone to have that exploration, to see if it's something that's right for them. And by the way, if Boost isn't right for them, there still is a lot of different ways that somebody can feel very comfortable in having their business move over to EXP. So that also comes out of the explorations and the discovery calls that come from that. That's why it's important to bring the growth person on, because they'll know what else we can do if the qualifications aren't there. So if you're less than 50 agents, if you're less than 100 million, still have the conversation with you and us, and be able to have at least an exploratory call for someone to know what their options are.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Michael. I appreciate your time today. I think this was a great overview. And again, we'll encourage you to check the description below so you can book a call, and we will get that set up with the growth team as well to help you navigate through that conversation so that you can get all of your own questions answered that are specific to your needs and your situation. And Michael, I look forward to seeing you next time and soon. Yeah, neighbor.
Sounds awesome, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. See you soon.